Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, the media mogul Rachel Dahl joins us. She's the publisher of Fallon Media. Here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Hit the open road with a truckload of cash free play in one of 3 luxury travel trailers during the $250,000 travel time giveaways. Thousands in weekly giveaways plus $7,500 in grand prizes guaranteed. And a new travel trailer or $35,000. Now at the Carson Valley Inn.
Welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the do-it-right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're pleased to welcome back to the program Rachel Dahl. She is the publisher of the Fallon Media. It encompasses a lot, Fallon Media. So it's the Fallon Post. Now you have the Silver State Chronicle. Now you also have the Pershing Post.
Correct.
Okay, have you not heard newspapers are going out of business?
I have.
And that they're all charities and everybody should donate, when in fact actually you're running these as a business? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, there's that. At like 3:30 every morning when I'm writing stories and posting, I'm like, they said I was crazy.
But actually I admire you for what you're doing because you're doing it right. You're producing a product that people want, and you're going out to advertisers and selling them advertising space. You're in your early years of doing this, so it's a struggle. And you're not making $1 million, but you believe in the cause.
Yes.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
How do people respond to you? You know, when you go through Fallon and they know who you are, because Fallon, as we know, is not a huge town, so everybody knows everybody. Do people appreciate what you're doing?
They do. It's really, really gratifying, and it's what made me believe we could do this in other communities. And so we started the Fallon Post 5.5 years ago online with no intention of printing because nobody starts newspapers anymore. But our community wanted to hold their newspaper. And so in November of 2020, we started printing every Friday, and we've been printing ever since, knock on wood. And the community loves it. And as I've been in rural Nevada for the past 5 years and run into all of my friends, they're like, Rachel, when can you do one for us? We need one really bad. And so it kind of started out as a joke, talking to my friends in Hawthorne and my friends in Lovelock and my friends in Ely. The Ely conversation was really fun. That was about 3 years ago. And as part of that conversation, there are a couple of different organizations out there who've done it themselves, which we totally support. I mean, anybody, we will help anyone get a paper up and running in their community. But if we can do it, then we of course want to do it. So we talked to a bunch of people up in Lovelock. Heidi Lesby, I know you know her.
Yes.
She does economic development up there. She actually put a group of people together for me a couple years ago, and we sat at the coffee shop and brainstormed. And that's honestly one of the reasons this works, is in rural communities, people are desperate for news about their community. They want to read about their kids and what they're doing in school, and they want to read the positive things about their community, and they are willing to help. So because of that, we're able to put together this newspaper in Lovelock, which we launched on Friday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's so exciting, and they are so excited up there. And all weekend long, emails and private messages on Facebook. What about this story? You could do this story. So people are just throwing information at us, and my team is we're all just a little shocked. We met yesterday afternoon and we're like, so we are going to need a better calendar.
A bigger one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But it's a labor of love, I think, on everyone's part who's participating in making it work.
But isn't that the way, because I've read a lot of stories about business people, how they got into business, how they made their businesses successful. And isn't the beginning of a successful business passion for what you're doing rather than, oh, I'm going to make $1 million? It's a real passion because, sometimes you have to mortgage your house.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I told someone the other day, and then after I told them this, I was so embarrassed. I'm like, I actually had this perfectly good job and quit to do this, and I had a really good credit score, and everything was going so well, and then I started the newspaper, and I didn't know your credit could go that low. Like oh gosh, in the past 5 years, I tore through like 2 retirement plans and maxed out all my credit cards. And yeah, you hear those stories about people doing that. We've bootstrapped this, and when I say bootstrap, I mean it. Like it has been lean for quite a while, but we're making it work, and it's so worth it.
And you're expanding.
We're expanding.
Okay, so what this leads me to really is that the newspapering world is a business, and somehow along the way over the last years it has become, to my mind, either nonprofit or charitable or whatever, and I think that is bull. And I'm not going to add the second word there, because Nevada Newsmakers has gone down the same route,
right?
Which is, we started 22 years ago. We thought that we were going to make a ton of money right off the bat, and of course we didn't. And along the way, you mortgage the house a few times and pay the bills, and then you end up in hock again, and you get the credit cards run up. But if you believe in the product, and I did, then you're willing to risk it because you can see success down the road.
Right.
Because news is, as you point out, something that people desperately want and need. And it's not just in rural communities, it's in big communities.
Yeah.
The Reno Gazette-Journal is doing the best job they can, but they have suffered with budget cuts, and their printing is now done out of California, and they are doing absolutely the best job they can. But it's a tough road to cover a market of 500,000 people, essentially. I mean, they're not able to cover Sparks, which is insane when, we're like Dallas-Fort Worth for folks in Las Vegas, or, Las Vegas-Henderson.
Yeah.
We should be able to cover all these stories. And so I say good luck to the folks who are working their butts off at the Gazette to cover as many things as they can. But this is not a charity, it's a business. And
Correct.
At the end, Rachel Dahl, I hope you become a millionairess. Because I think that if you can continue what you're doing, then you will make the money, but it's not going to happen overnight. No. It's going to take time. But the first thing, and I'm going to shut up and let you talk,
no, it's cool.
is that the people in the towns that you are publishing are excited that you're there.
They're so excited, and that's what keeps you going. You're just. It's so necessary. You can't run a community without news. You can't get good candidates to run for office. And you know as well as I do, if and I have a ton of respect for local elected officials. I was one of them. But if no one's minding the store, there's a tendency for all of us. I mean, our country was founded with checks in place because we are corruptible. So you have to have someone minding the store to watch what local elected officials are doing in the community, because if no one's telling and no one's attending those meetings, then, you know, perspective changes, and you watch communities where there's no news and people get used to just doing things in the dark, doing things in that closed room with no one watching, and decisions are different than when someone is watching. And when the community knows what's going on, decisions are different, and I think they're better. So we've seen that. We've seen in Fallon just people come out of the woodwork to run for office when 5 years ago you couldn't get a candidate. So we like to think that we had an influence on that, and that's what we want to do in these other communities. You've seen some of these communities where some decisions are being made that probably shouldn't be made, and we're hoping that as we get the communities involved and we give them a place to have a voice, that better decisions will be made. And at both levels, the whole point with the Silver State Chronicle is that I don't think people in rural Nevada have a real good feel for what's going on in Carson, and I know people in Carson don't have a really good feel for what's going out on
They
the
don't
ground.
know where you are.
They don't know.
They don't know.
And there's two statewide papers already online, and I have a lot of respect for the way that they cover news, but they're not covering the communities. Like, you have to know what's going on on the ground. You have to know who the people are, and that we just do a different kind of news. What they're doing is important. Like, I think everyone supports those other efforts, but our effort is completely different. Our effort is to build community intentionally on the ground, so that we're telling the story of the community, and then elected officials and decision makers can have a place where they can go and they can become familiar, and they can know where Spring Creek is and where Eureka is and where Round Mountain is, you know.
Right. Well, regional papers and national papers helicopter in. They come in for a couple of days, maybe a week. They talk to a few people and then they're gone. And they really don't have a sense of what goes on, because everybody puts on their best behavior when the media is around.
Right.
But when you're part of the community, it's a whole different story. One of the things I love about the Fallon Post, and I've been a subscriber now for a couple of years, is when I read your paper, and you know I do because I text you about it.
These little texts are so cute.
I feel good when I read your paper.
Thanks.
And it's not that you don't write about the courts and some of the nasty things that happen in court cases, but just your editorials are adorable, because the world is so full of bad news, and social media is so full of bad news, and people are so depressed. They think the world is coming to an end, and the truth is it's not.
Right.
That for most of us, our lives are going along just fine. If you're lucky enough to live in America, and even better to be a citizen in America, you got it going pretty good when you look at the rest of the world. And one should feel good about it, and we don't feel good so much because we watch other news or other information or social media, and it makes us feel bad about what's going on when we don't really look at our own lives and go, hey, it's cool. So I like reading that instead of your editorial being about how awful things are and how we got to kill people or whatever, but you're writing out a bunny that came into your office while you were trying to write the editorial, and you have to chase him out, or you have to go find another animal. It's adorable. And at the end of that column, and it lays and I'm not saying every newspaper should do this, but your paper lays the groundwork for me to feel good about turning to page 2 and page 3, because I know a real person has written this without a political agenda, and now I can start reading the paper and read about the community news, and we need more of that because America needs to feel good about itself.
I agree. I think we're so lucky because we get to tell the stories of the community, and there is so much that goes on in these rural communities that is happy and is good that people should know about, because how are you going to make a decision that's going to affect these small rural communities if you don't understand them or know them? And if our legislators are making a decision and they've been reading about Lovelock or Fallon or any of the other communities that we cover, suddenly they have a personal view of those of us who live there, and maybe they'll make a wise decision rather than a decision based on just their background about Clark County or Washoe County. Like, if we can get them to know who we are, then maybe decisions that are made on our behalf will be better.
I agree. But also, if they come to visit your community, they know who to talk to. They know what the starting point is, because certainly, Washoe County being the swing county and the swing state, I'm getting calls from national media asking me questions and, input on things. News is a really important resource for other people to be able to find a base to cover their stories.
Yes.
So let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more about it. Obviously, folks, I am a fan. We'll be right back.
Turn your clunker into a caddy during the Cadillac and Cash giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Weekly cash drawings including $5,000 cash and one top prize of $10,000. Win the grand prize of a Cadillac CT4 or $40,000 in cash. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Story County is leading Nevada. Home of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Google, Tesla, Panasonic, and other world-leading companies. Story County provides thousands of tech, advanced manufacturing, and logistics careers for Nevadans. We're diversifying and driving Nevada's economy and generating millions in tax revenue and billions in economic activity across northern Nevada. Story County is leading Nevada's future.
Retail's impact on Nevada's economy? Enormous. 8,600 businesses, large and small, employing 145,000 workers. And last fiscal year, retail paid tax on nearly $60 billion in sales. We're the Retail Association of Nevada. We support retail, we help it grow, and we mean business.
RANNV.org.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Rachel Dahl. She is the publisher of Fallon Media that now encompasses 3 papers, the Fallon Post, the Silver State Chronicle, and the Pershing Post. So what areas, obviously Pershing County is Lovelock, what areas does Silver State Chronicle cover?
Everything outside of Washoe and Clark. So all the roads.
Oh, so a really small district, like Pete Goacachia's district.
Exactly, yeah, yep.
So you have correspondents in all the small towns?
We're finding people in all the small towns who want to send us stories and tips, and it's a lot. It is a lot. I might have bitten off a lot, but we're figuring out. We build the plane on the way down and hopefully keep it going, and figure out how to make it work. And that's what we did with the Fallon Post, and here we are 5 years later. So we're gonna launch this, and so far people are coming out of the woodwork to help and super excited about it, so we're going with it.
So the Fallon Post, let's use that as the example, because I get the printed paper of that every week.
Yeah.
And it seems as I look at your advertisers, because all of us people in the advertising business look at all your advertisers first.
Right.
And it seems like nobody's dropping out. You've got construction companies like Cheek Construction that are putting in funding.
Yeah.
There seems to be lots of regulars in there. People are obviously getting results in one way or another.
We're really excited to see our the ads continue to grow. We we had a goal when we very first began, because we've just had the funnest time learning all of this. One of the guys who's done some work for us was explaining how when he worked at a local paper here, I don't know if I should tell, they had a hard and fast rule that if there wasn't 50%, they had to have 50% advertising to run the paper. So if they were short of 50, they would cut material to get to 50.
Genius.
And so when we began, we had this goal. We are going to get to 30. And the very first time that we got to 20, we were like, there was a party in the office. And then eventually we got to 27 one day, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're almost there. And then we got to where we're at 30 really, really consistently. And so a couple weeks ago, we hit 40 for the first time. I don't want to go to 50 because I think that's too much advertising, and I still feel like we're there to give content. To me, that's super important.
But, okay, so here's another side of that. Advertising is helping people.
It is.
How do people know what to buy or where to buy it if there isn't advertising? People always complain, I got rid of my cable or whatever because I'm tired of looking at ads. But if you got rid of all the advertising in the world and you got $100, how the heck would you know where to spend the $100?
Right.
So I think advertising helps people to know where to go and what to buy, and if there's a deal, whatever.
Advertising is content too.
I believe so.
And
well, if it's not, then the creative is not right.
Right.
Because you should, in my pantry at home, this is way too much information. I arrange the cans and the jars with the labels sticking out because they spend a fortune on designing very attractive labels, and I want people, if they go into my pantry, to go, oh, look how nice that all looks. It's all arranged. I know that's weird.
I feel like I need to see your pantry now.
but just think about that. I mean, if the marketing is done right, then products should look attractive.
Right.
And if you're not showing something attractive, if an ad is ugly and horrible, then you need a new artist.
Well, that's such an interesting thing because, we really started from not knowing a thing. And some people would argue we still don't, but we don't care because we're learning. But when we first started, the very first time we got a professional ad to put in the paper, we were so excited because we were like, oh my gosh, it makes us look like professional. It was so exciting to see that in our paper.
Okay, we have to take a break because I want to come back. Everybody get a pen and a piece of paper. Those things, or your laptop or your phone, because we're going to give you URLs so that people can sign up and subscribe. Okay?
Absolutely.
We'll be right back after this.
Pro Group Management specializes in providing industries with the necessary components to satisfy and exceed workers' comp requirements. Every business has unique needs and specific regulations. Pro Group Management stays ahead of the curve, providing up-to-date services to keep your industry in top form. Discover how we simplify your tasks, improve efficiency, and reduce expense to keep you moving in a positive direction. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Truck drivers are some of the hardest working people you'll meet, delivering over 70% of America's freight and 92% of Nevada's. When there's a natural disaster, they're delivering critical supplies to help those communities recover and rebuild. Every sector of the economy and our nation's military rely on truck drivers. So let's take a moment to say thank you. On the open road or city streets, our truck drivers are rolling to make our economy and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year. and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Okay, back on Nevada Newsmakers with Rachel Dahl. She's the publisher of Fallon Media. They have 3 papers. We're going to give you the information on how you can subscribe to 1, 2, or all 3. All right, so which one do you want to start with?
Well, the Fallon Post was our first baby, and so you go to thefallonpost.org, because we did try that nonprofit model in the very beginning and learned very quickly that was not the way to go. But
okay, thefallonpost.org.
Yes.
Okay, number 2.
silverstatechronicle.com.
silverstatechronicle.com.
And then thepershingpost.com.
thepershingpost.com.
Yes.
And if you missed any of that, you can call me. You can find me easily on the website, and I will be happy to pass along that information. Congratulations. I think it's awesome.
Thanks.
And you are living proof that the newspaper industry is not dead. It's just resurging in a different format, and content is king.
Local community news matters.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Everyone is talking about opioids, but they're not the only drugs that can be harmful if taken in large quantities or not as prescribed. You also need to be aware of side effects from anxiety drugs, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, and stimulants. Mixing prescription drugs with other drugs or alcohol can be dangerous. If you take an Ambien with a glass of wine, it may be enough to stop you from breathing. Prescribed drugs can be just as dangerous as illegal drugs. Take medications only as directed.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. You can catch us online 24 hours a day at nevadanewsmakers.com, or you can download the podcast wherever you like to get your podcast. We'll see you on the next broadcast.